There is a moment right before you lose your mind where time slows down. Someone just did something. They didn't text back. They didn't invite you. They looked at you wrong. They left. They chose someone else. And in that split second, your entire nervous system lights up like a Christmas tree on fire. Your jaw tightens, your stomach knots, your brain starts rushing down a track it's run 1,000 times before. Why would they do that? What did I do wrong? How dare they? You are now standing at the edge of a cliff and you have two choices about what happens next. But here's the thing, you think you have more choices than you actually do. You think you can make them text back. You think you can convince them to stay. You think you can change their mind. You can't. And the attempt to do so is slowly killing you. It's killing your peace, your time, your relationships, your sanity. You are burning yourself alive to keep other people warm, and they don't even feel the heat. There's a book. Well, it's not really a book, it's a detonation device disguised as a book. It sold 100,000 copies in its first week. Oprah called it life altering. TikTok gave it 15 million views before anyone even knew what it was. And it reduces the entire complexity of human interaction down to two words: let them. The book is The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. And this is not a review of the book. This is an intervention. And by the end of this video, you are either going to be the calmest person in the room or the loneliest. The book won't decide which. You will. Here is the engine, and it's so simple you're going to reject it. Mel Robbins argues that almost all human suffering comes from one specific behavior: resisting reality. Specifically, the reality of what other people are doing. Someone doesn't want to be with you? Let them. Someone thinks you are wrong? Let them. Someone is choosing to live in a way you disagree with? Let them. Someone is being annoying on an airplane? Let them. It sounds like passivity. It sounds like giving up. It sounds like the kind of thing your grandmother would call letting the devil win. But Robbins flips the frame. She says that when you try to control what other people do, you are not actually exercising power. You are giving it away. You are handing the remote control of your emotional state to anyone who walks by and pushes your buttons. When you stop managing everyone else, she writes, you will realize you have a lot more power than you thought. You have just unknowingly been giving it away. She's stealing back your attention from every person you have ever tried to please, manage, control. The engine has two parts. The first is let them. The second is let me. Let them do what they are going to do. And then this is the part everyone forgets. Let me decide what I'm going to do about it. If your friends make plans without you, let them. And then let me decide whether to reach out more proactively or find new friends or enjoy a night alone. If your partner is sending mixed signals, let them. And then let me decide if this is actually someone I want in my life. If your boss doesn't recognize your work, let them. And then let me decide whether to advocate for myself or update my resume or find validation elsewhere. Now let me tell you where this gets real. Psychologists have been watching this theory go viral with a mixture of hope and terror. Because on one hand, it's actually just good clinical practice dressed up in everyday language. The let them concept maps directly onto something called radical acceptance. a core component of dialectical behavior therapy that encourages people to embrace the present moment and accept circumstances without judgment. So, what's the problem? Think about the last time you learned a new boundary setting technique. Maybe you read a book about saying no, and for a week you said no to everything. No to invitations, no to favors, no to anything that required an ounce of your energy. You felt powerful. You felt free. And then you looked around and realized you are alone. That's the danger. The let them theory can become a permission slip for emotional disconnection. Instead of building permeable boundaries that allow connection while protecting our peace, we build impervious walls that leaves us isolated and resentful. Here is a question. Are you letting them because you genuinely accepted reality or because you are afraid of the discomfort of engagement? Are you letting them walk away because you are at peace with it or because you are too proud to admit it hurts? There is a version of this theory that leads to enlightenment, and there is a version that leads to emotional bypassing, where you skip the messy work of vulnerability and call it strength. So let's talk about what this book actually is, because it's not what you think. Most of us are drowning in the trivialities of daily life. The friend who didn't text, the partner who is distant, the coworker who's passive aggressive, and we need a lifeline we can grab in under 30 seconds. The book works because it's memorable. It works because let them fits on a bracelet. It works because when you are spiraling at 2 a.m. about why someone hasn't called you, you can actually remember to whisper it to yourself. Let them, let them, let them. But here's my warning, and I need you to hear this. This book is a tool, and like any tool, it can build a house or take one down. If you use it to disengage from everyone who disappoints you, you will end up alone. And not the peaceful kind of alone, the bitter kind. The people who actually benefit from this theory doesn't just let others go. They then take responsibility for their own next step. They let the friend drift away, and then they examine their own role in the drift. They let the partner be confused, and then they clarify their own needs. They let the boss be unappreciative, and then they decide what they want from their career. This is not about not caring. This is about caring so efficiently that you don't burn out. So here's a question I will leave you with. And it's a question Mel Robbins is really asking, whether she says it outright or not. Look at the person or situation that is currently draining your mental energy, the one you think about when you can't sleep, the one you rehearse conversations with in the shower, the one you are trying to change, fix, manage, or control. And ask yourself, am I holding on because I love them or because I'm afraid of what happens if I let go? If you're afraid, let them is terrifying. It means facing the possibility that they won't come back. It means sitting in the unknown. It means releasing the illusion of control and trusting that you will be okay on the other side. But if you are holding on because you genuinely want connection, then let them is just the first step. The second step, let me, is where you show up. You communicate, you set a boundary that actually serves the relationship instead of burning it down. The book isn't a beach read, it's not even really a book, it's a mirror. And if you open it, you have to be prepared to see the ways you've been wasting your life, trying to be the puppet master of people who never agreed to be puppet. So the question I'm leaving with you is simple. Let me know in the comments. Tell me the one situation where you know you need to say, let them. But you are terrified to do it. I'll read them, I'll be there. And if you are ready to stop being the warden of other people's behavior, the key is in the link below. Just remember, unlocking their cage also unlock yours. You just have to be willing to walk out.